on Oceania International Championships.
This weekend's matches have been fierce, but full of fun as well. And every trainer here should be extremely proud of competing here at the Oceania International Championships.
However, just 2 trainers remain from each age division competing in our finals today. Which of them will be taking home those coveted trophies and become our 2019 international champions?
We will begin the day with the Pokemon Trading Card Game Junior Division Finals between Jean and Shaman. And that means we just have one question left. Trainers, are you ready?
They sound just about ready, so we have Cora and Ellis standing by. They're going to tell us a little bit more about our competitors.
Thank you very much, Joe and Kyle. Welcome, everybody, to the final day of the Oceania International Championships. We are going to be kicking things off with the Juniors Division for the Pokemon TCG. My name is Cora Georgiou, and I am joined by Ellis Longhurst. Ellis, I know you've been doing some recon. What do we know about these 2 finalists in the Junior Division?
Well, firstly, I'm really excited to see these Juniors players in action. We've only seen Masters Division players across the stream this weekend, and now we finally get to see some of the best in the Junior Division battle it out. We have John Cardoso from Brazil. He sort of joins a long list of very accomplished Brazilian players who have really done well at these tournaments. Players like Natalia Fernandez, Otavio Gouveia. Lucas Pereira made top 8 at that Masters Division as well. So, he comes from a very accomplished pedigree of players there. And on the other side of the table, we have Szymon Bilanyi from Slovakia. And I know there's a big contingent of Slovakian team that have come along to support him as well. And he's really looking to put Slovakia on the map in that regard. So hopefully we have a pretty good, interesting matchup going on here between these 2 players.
Yeah, fantastic players, obviously, with diverse backgrounds, very rich experiences when it comes to the Pokemon TCG. And we are going to be seeing a Pika-Rom mirror, it looks like, here in the Juniors Finals. Obviously, Pika-Rom, throughout the Masters Division, was doing incredibly well. We had, I believe, 1/3 of our Day 2 competitors piloting Pika-Rom in the Masters Division, but neither of them made it to the finals. So we don't have any Pika-Rom in the finals for Masters, but we're making up for that with a Pika-Rom mirror here in the Juniors Division. But it does seem to be a deck that a lot of the juniors are really favoring because it is rather straightforward but incredibly powerful. And both of these players have brought somewhat similar lists, rather straightforward, but we do have some differences between them.
Yeah, some pretty interesting differences, that's for sure. I don't know if the players have their headsets on yet, so might not spoil those little surprises and little texts that they have.
We'll give you a little teaser.
So we'll definitely see that. But we can go ahead and look at the standings from the Junior Division and have a look at that bracket and see what path these players took to get to this position in the tournament. So having a look there, these are the top 8 from the Junior Division. The first seed being Benny Billinger. We've got Simon Bilanyi coming in at 8th seed and making it all the way to the final. It's pretty exciting for him there. And rounding out the left side of the bracket is Rowan Godfrey Robbins and also Pedro there from Brazil. And on the other side, a New Zealand player from Oceania, able to make it all the way to the top 4. That's Shannon, able to defeat Noah in the top 8. And rounding that out is Taylor, and he played against Jean, who we're going to see in the final as well. Jean actually played against a Pikachu and Zekrom deck in the semi-finals, so you wonder if he has a little bit of an edge in this matchup, if he kind of knows how the matchup goes, a little bit better than Shimon, maybe.
Yeah, we're not positive about Shimon's road here, about which decks he's played against primarily, but we know for a fact that Jean does have experience with Pika-Rom very recently. And you were saying Shimon was the 8th seed going into the top 8. Well, the 8th seed going into the top 8 for the Masters Division, Stefan Ivanov, is also going to be playing in the finals today, so maybe there's some luck surrounding that 8th seed today. And I guess we'll have to find out here whether Jean has that edge because of the Pika-Rom matchup experience, or whether Simon has a little bit of an edge because of various other reasons. Maybe some of those tech choices will be coming into play, but we're going to be getting into that. We want to know who you at home are rooting for here in the Juniors Finals, and then, of course, our Seniors Division and our Masters Division after that. So make sure you're getting on Twitter and using the hashtag #PlayPokemon on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. It is just /Pokemon. We are very consistent with our branding. But make sure you get out there, root for your favorite players here in the finals today, because they've worked so hard this weekend to get to this point. There's a ton on the line for these individual players, and your support is invaluable.
Yeah, I mean, everyone wants to be the Oceania International Champion, but there are actually quite a lot of prizes on the line as well. It's not just that trophy. Across the weekend, there's been over $50,000 in prizes between the trading card game and the video game tournaments. And of course, players definitely want those championship points as well. They want that invitation to the 2019 Pokemon World Championships, as well as to be in the running for some of those stipends to maybe the other international championships as well. And of course, as always, thousands of Pokemon trading card game booster packs. Everyone likes to crack packs. It's always fun to see what you're going to get.
Absolutely. A win here would mean the title for these players, as well as the opportunity to defend that title very likely at the World Championships, perhaps even at our North American International Championships, which is going to be happening later this year, as well as the European International Championships. So a lot of opportunity, a lot of pressure on the line here for these players, but these junior division players are experts, and we can go ahead and take a look at a little bit more information about the background here for these junior division finalists. Again, it is going to be Jean Cardoso taking on Schumann Bologna here in a Pikarom mirror with some tech choices that we have yet to reveal, but we're going to be getting into those very shortly. I'm super psyched because I love watching the juniors division play. It's only Masters division on the stream throughout the weekend, but these junior players are, you know what, not getting as much of the spotlight, but they are so incredibly talented, Ellis.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say they're probably better than I am, to be honest. But we're going to throw it down to the stage. The players are ready to get started, so make sure you give them a big hand and as they come out onto the stage.
All right, thank you, Ellis. Indeed, we are ready to start the finals here at the Oceania International Championships in the junior division. Let's introduce our players. From Slovakia, we have Schumann Bologna. And from Brazil, we have Jean Cardoso. Players, you can go ahead and take your seats, and best of luck.
All right, you can see our players getting seated, getting ready to start game number 1 here. And you know what? They both look pretty confident, honestly. It's been a long weekend of play. I would not blame them if they were a little bit tired, maybe feeling a little bit of pressure here, having made it to this point. But you know what? It's all smiles here, and they look like they are ready to play some awesome games of Pokemon.
Yeah, I had a chat to actually both players before they sat down. Looked very happy to be on camera, that's for sure. And both of them said they're very, very excited. They're very excited to be playing on stream, very excited to be playing in the finals. And but also a little bit of nerves coming in there as well. But I'm sure that's sort of anxious, excited nerves.
Absolutely. It's the good butterflies that they're feeling in their stomachs right now. But let's take a closer look at Schumann Bologna. Swiss record 4-1 and 1/8 seed going into the top 8. Again, going to be playing Pikachu and Zekrom GX, paired with Zapdos and Zeraora. Top 32 at the World Championship in 2017. Top 4 at the Malmo Regional and the Torino Special Event in 2018. And he was the Prague National Champion there in 2016. So quite a pedigree surrounding this player.
Yeah, many, many accomplishments for this junior player right here. We're going to have to see if he can add Oceania International Championship champion to that list. But we can also go ahead and see what Jean Cardoso's achievements are. And look, he's picked the same 4 cards, so it looks like he's valuing the same things as his opponent. He looks like he's had a lot of success at special events quite recently over the past this season and the last year as well, with the Santiago Special Event Champion, Buenos Aires Special Event finalist, top 4 at Special Event, and top 8 at another one. And he actually went 4-0-2 during the tournament. You know what that means? He hasn't lost a match so far.
That's incredibly impressive. And last I checked, we're only in the middle of February here in 2019. So to have that many special event experiences under his belt when we're so shortly into the 2019 year is incredibly impressive. But we can see these prizes being placed. That Thunder Mountain Prism Star going into the prizes here.
And you wonder if that's going to have a big impact, because you'd think that John is going to play Thunder Mountain as well and likely put it down for Shimon during this game. But here are Jean's prizes here. Few utility cards in Zeraora GX. Oh, both Zeraora GX actually in the prize cards, which means he won't be doing any free retreating this game until he can find those Pokemon and place those down.
That is a bit unfortunate. It's a phenomenal utility Pokemon in these Pikachu and Zekrom decks, and one that Jean would really want to have access to here early on. But these are just, we were saying, going to be either very fast matches where Pikachu and Zekrom gets powered up incredibly quickly with Full Blitz and then can use Tag Bolt GX and take those knockouts really quickly, or they will be a little bit slower, a little bit more grindy as these players choose to take longer to set up and maybe try to play a bit more defensively. But I guess we're going to see what their play styles are individually here as we get game number 1 of the junior finals here at Oceania underway. It's going to be a Zeraora in the active for Schumann, and for Jean we have that Pikachu and Zekrom GX. And right off the bat, Schumann is going to use an Ultra Ball and search out a Pokemon from his deck.
Yeah, as we were talking about, very interesting to see if they're going to go for that Pikachu and Zekrom tag team as the main attacker, or if they're going to play a little bit more slowly and use things like, you know, that Zapdos that we've been seeing all weekend. Or in the case of Shimon, he actually has access to a Raikou, which is a card from Shining Legends that we haven't really been seen in the spotlight over the weekend. A lot of people choosing to cut that card from their lists. Shimon's decided, you know, might be a good one to include. When you're in a field facing a lot of Zapdos, which happen to be weak to lightning, Raikou might be an excellent choice.
A nice Lily there for, looked like 5 or 6 cards, and now having to decide what he wants to take off of this Acrobike.
Decides to discard the Zeraora GX. He already has one in play, and he'll be able to use that Thunderclap Zone ability to give free retreat to his Lightning Pokemon, but doesn't look like he plays too much else other than just that Pikachu and Zekrom onto the bench. Jean, for his turn, he actually plays Lycia, which will get him things like Thunder Mountain and, as we see, that Tapu Koko Prism Star. So he has the ability to full blitz with that Pikachu and Zekrom GX on the first turn. So pretty explosive, and that would put a lot of pressure down onto Shimon if Jean can find that combination.
Well, we know that the Tapu Koko Prism's on the bench, and that the Thunder Mountain for Shuon is in the prizes, I believe. So Jean should still have access to his own, even though both of his Zeraora, I believe, are prized.
Yeah, I mean, that will definitely restrict his ability to get a full blitz off. Not being able to free retreat is quite crippling. It's something that a lot of these Pikachu and Zekrom decks really rely on, as they rely on that Energy Switch engine as well, in combination with that Tapu Koko Prism Star. We're going to see another Tapu, and that Tapu Lele GX come down as Jean searches for a Lily. Definitely the kind of supporter card you want to see in your hand on the first turn.
Yeah, obviously diminishing returns the longer that the game goes on when it comes to the Lily supporter card. But if you can play it on turn 1, you draw to a full 8 cards in hand instead of just to 6. So he is going to pick up a fresh hand here and hopefully find a little bit more to work with on turn 1 than on the opposing side from Schumann, where all he did was Ultra Ball for the Pikazek and then attach a Lightning Energy to the active Zeraora.
Yeah, a little bit difficult to see what he's got in his hand at the moment. He does have 2 of his only 3 Energy Switch in hand. Going to play a Nest Ball to find a basic Pokemon. This is probably where he's going to find out that both Zeraora GX are prized. It's not something he's going to be happy about. It's going to have to target another Pokemon with that Nest Ball. And then we're going to see a little pause at the end of the deck search. And he thinks, I might have a look again. I'll just double check if there's definitely a Zeraora in there. Another card that we've definitely seen all weekend is that Mars Shadow. It's popped up in a lot of decks, that Let Loose ability. Basically being like a draw supporter, but also disrupting your opponent and allowing you to play another supporter in that turn. And that is the face of a man who's disappointed not to see a Zeraora GX, I think.
He's just gotten some bad news, and it's that he has both of his Zeraora prized. It does give him some definitive information about his prize cards, but until he's able to take a knockout and start picking from those prize cards, he's not going to have access to that free retreat. So just going to take that Rainbow Rare Pikachu and Zekrom GX off of the Nest Ball. Not ideal, but you know what? Maybe if he can start full blitzing, he can attach energy to that benched Pikachu and Zekrom instead of having to go all in on the active. And he is going to use Tapu Koko Prism's Dance of the Ancients here. Send it to the Lost Zone, pull 2 energy from the discard, and put 1 each on 2 of your benched Pokemon.
I mean, the important thing here, he has a lot of energy in play. I mean, that's what this deck wants. It wants to be able to play a lot of energy and then use Energy Switch to move that to the right Pokemon. Very difficult when you don't have a Zeraora to be able to move different attackers into the active, but if he keeps those 2 Energy Switch in his hand, he'll be able to full blitz next turn. And we're going to see Shimon here. He's playing a Choice Band. One of those new art Choice Bands. You have to like that one.
They are beautiful. And I think we saw those in Jean's deck as well. So both players getting some pimped out tool cards.
Yeah, nice way to put some variety, not just all gold cards all the time.
Absolutely. I don't have anything against gold cards, but I do actually quite like the strategy that Jean's gone for, which is one each of the different rarities of Pikachu and Zekrom in the deck. It just makes it easier to pick out what cards are available to you when you're searching through your deck and trying to spot your prize cards.
I mean, he did tell me that one of the main reasons that he played Pikachu and Zekrom was because he just liked Zekrom, so...
It's just a cool Pokemon.
It's as good a choice as any. So we're going to see a Cynthia down here from Shimon. He's actually able to get an Electro Power down as well, which means that if he is able to find, Thunder Mountain, an Energy Switch, move that Pikachu and Zekrom GX into the active position, he's going to be dealing 180 damage onto that active Pikachu and Zekrom GX of Jean, which that's quite a lot. That's a lot of pressure.
Second Electro Power. Pikachu and Zekrom, of course, 240 HP, so 180 going to be a bit short.
He's got a decision to make here, though. Second Electro Power plus the Choice Band. If he can find the Thunder Mountain, he might actually be able to get a knockout on this Pikachu and Zekrom.
And that would be...
an amazing turn one.
Yes, a very potent way to set the pace on this match. In game one, taking 3 prizes before your opponent has taken any. I mean, talk about asserting some confidence here on the desk.
And you can see he's counting how many energy switch are in his deck. What are his outs? I mean, he's played a supporter, but he does have that Marshadow, which can let loose, can help him find an energy switch and possibly pull off this amazing combination. Remember, he also does have Tapu Koko Prism Star to accelerate some energy as well if he doesn't happen to find that Thunder Mountain, which we know is prized. I'm not sure if he's looked through his deck for that one.
Does he want to take the risk
Second
here?
Electro
He is
Power,
gonna
and there's a
do
big
it.
Marshadow.
Let loose. He gets 4 cards.
Really looking for that Tapu Koko Prism Star or a way to get it onto the bench, something like a Nest Ball.
Ultra Ball as well would do the job. It's got a lot of outs here to be able to potentially get this knockout.
So we're looking for Tapu Koko, Prism Star, and an energy switch of 4 cards. It's getting pretty amazing turn 2 onto that Pikachu and Zekrom. There's a Tapu Lele. There's the Tapu Koko Prism Star. Is there an energy switch? Oh, it's another Electro Power. So unfortunately not able to get that attack off this turn, and that is also 2 Electro Powers used. Not the kind of resource that you want to be throwing away.
Yeah, that is actually really quite damaging here to the overall game plan for Shimon.
No
He's got
more
1
ways
Electro
to,
Power in hand, but only 1 left in deck now.
And recognizing that he won't be able to get the attack off this turn, he's just going to put the Marshadow into the active position and say, if you can get your full blitz off, I'm going to only allow you to take 1 prize this turn.
I love that Shimon took the risk here, knowing that if it paid off, he would very likely win the game because of it. And if it didn't pay off, he did have that little bit of a backup plan, which is just send the Marshadow up into the active. And if Jean's able to take a knockout this turn, it's not the end of the world. He can certainly still come back from that. But you know what? Getting a little bit punished there by not being able to find the energy switch because he did use 2 Electro Power in the process. So there we are going to see that Lycia, I believe, for Jean being discarded from the Ultra Ball.
Yeah, not really a supporter you need to use, halfway through the game when you've already used one of your 2 Prism Stars. So pretty easy decision to discard that one there. And he's going to play another Tapu Lele GX. I think that's something that's quite unique to Jean's deck, is that he actually does play those 2 Tapu Lele GX. But in this matchup, possibly a little bit awkward because that does set up a 4 prize turn for Shimon if he's able to get a Tag Bolt GX off with the 6 energy.
Absolutely. Tag Bolt snipes 170 damage to the bench if there are 3 additional lightning energy in addition to the 3 energy requirement for the attack. So to be able to take 4 or maybe even 5 prizes in a turn, depending on if there's Choice Band and Electro Power on the side of Shimon, then that would be really, really a swing in the game.
Yeah, really big turn for Jean here. He's actually able to get the first full blitz off, knocks out the Marshadow, and going to search his deck for 3 energy cards, up to 3 energy cards, and play them down onto his Pokemon. I mean, he was able to also get down a second Pikachu and Zekrom ready to attack.
Yeah, he obviously wanted to find that Zeraora with the Nest Ball earlier on, but taking the Pikachu and Zekrom has actually worked out quite well for him because it means now that he has that backup attacker and potentially here could just take a couple more knockouts and win the game.
And Shimon here responding as well with his own full blitz, as we'd suspect, and getting out a Pikachu Zekrom. All right, so we questioned at the beginning what kind of line of play these players are going to go for. Are they going to use those Zapdos to put chip damage? Are they going to use Raikou? But
nah, they're going in.
Yeah, they're going all in. They've decided, if I can get the first Tag Bolt GX off, if I can accelerate energy to enough Pokemon, I can just win the game. 2 knockouts on Pikachu and Zekrom GX is taking 6 prizes.
All right, so 150 for the full blitz, 180 for the choice band, 210 with the electro power. There is, I believe, another electro power in the deck for Shimon. If he's
One
able
more.
to find it, he does get the knockout onto Jean's Pikachu and Zekrom GX with just the full blitz.
So here we go. He gets to see 6 cards here. We're looking for electro power. There's a couple
Double
of acro bikes.
Acrobike.
Fifth, that's 4 cards. 5th card, 6th card. Doesn't find it, but Acrobike is a way to draw more cards and search for that Electro Power. Guzma and not Electro Power, it's an Ultra Ball. Second Acrobike now. Oh, it doesn't find it.
Shimon just consistently 1 card off from being able to swing this game in his favor, and he's going to be able to full blitz this turn, put 3 energy onto the bench, Pikachu and Zekrom, but he is not going to take a knockout.
That's got to feel really unlucky there.
But, I mean, that's unfortunately what he set himself up for when he took the risk early on of looking for the energy switch off of the Marshadows let loose after having already committed to Electro Powers that turn.
He's going to commit now to the Tag Bolt GX to also get a knockout.
Okay, so he is going to take the knockout. He's not going to get the extra 170 damage tonight, but deeming it more important to just get the 3 prizes and get the Pikachu and Zekrom out of the active for Jean. I do like this. Obviously, you are hesitant to not use your GX attack for its full potential when you only have access to 1 in every game. But Shimon correctly recognizing here that if Jean takes 3 prizes next turn, Shimon's not going to be able to catch up.
So if John can actually use Tag Bolt GX with the additional 3 energy, he actually might have the game here. He does have 5 prizes left, so it seems a bit silly to say in 1 turn my opponent can win and take 5 prizes, but an energy and a Thunder Mountain, a couple of Electro Powers, maybe that Choice Band as well.
It's possible.
Yeah, definitely. Just got to attach 1 more energy, find the Thunder Mountain. I have 2 damage modifiers, and they come in the form of that Choice Band and also an Electro Power. He's thinking here, use that Volkner already to find those 2 pieces. There's the energy, the Choice Band attachment. He's going to go for a full blitz as well.
With a Tag Bolt GX.
Has also played his own Electro Power. Takes 3 prizes, goes down to 2 prizes. I think that's a fairly good play not to attach more energy to that Pokemon, just in case he couldn't find those extra pieces to get that 5 prize turn.
Well, that was Tag Bolt.
Yes, sorry. Yes, he has used his GX move now. So here's a Nest Ball from Shimon. Looking a bit awkward for him. He's used his Tapu Koko Prism Star already to accelerate energy onto the board. He does only have 1 on there, but we always have to think about that card called Tapu Koko GX.
Oh, yes. The ability Arrow Trail means that when you play Tapu Koko, you can send it up into the active, move Lightning Energy onto it, and then immediately Tapu Thunder. But Shimon,
I think Shimon realizing he's used his GX move, can't Tapu Thunder GX. There's no way to get more energy onto the board this turn, and that Pikachu and Zekrom GX of Jean is just going to continue taking prizes. With only 2 left, it was only a matter of time. So intelligent thinking there to scoop up the first game and say, let's have a bit more time to play the next 2 games.
Phenomenal sportsmanship from Shimon as well with the handshake there, recognizing that he'd lost game number 1. And it wasn't a debilitating loss for Shimon, I don't think. It was just that, unfortunately, he was 1 piece off from being able to take the lead there at several different turns of the game. Not having the energy switch after using Marshadow's Let Loose ability to draw 4 fresh cards to be able to take a knockout that turn really set him sort of in the back foot. And then, again, missing out just a couple turns later on that Electro Power to be able to knock out the Pikachu and Zekrom and take 3 prizes. That was quite unfortunate. So it is going to be Jean taking the first win here, and we are playing best of 3. So if Jean wins 1 more time, he will be your Juniors Division champion for the Oceania International Championships. But again, I think that game was closer than it looked, because had Shimon had that Electro Power, had he had that energy switch, he very easily could have won that game.
Oh, and he had to go for it, right? I mean, it was just too appealing. He had 2 Electro Powers. He just had to hit 1 more card, and he could have taken 3 prizes and really cleared Jean's board of any options after that. It would have been too good a chance to really to miss there. And actually, talking to Jean before the game, I asked him if he had a game plan going into the final. And he said, no game plan at all. And then took a moment to think about it and said, oh, I guess I'll just attach energy and win. And I think that's kind of like what he did really there, was pretty much go to that game plan.
I mean, honestly, that's what our Masters players have been saying about this deck too. I'll just attach energy and I'll win. And he did exactly what he wanted to do there in game number 1.
And you've got to give credit to these players as well, because this is a very new deck that's just come out with the Team Up expansion. So they probably haven't had too much time to practice it and too much time to find the optimal list or think about the optimal combinations that they want to be achieving.
I think that absolutely speaks to experience. Shumon really showing that he's a master of risk assessment there in the first game and realizing he needs to get aggressive and take those risks when he can, even if, potentially they could backfire on him a little bit. And just, the ability to have those fundamentals down pat so that you can take a new deck and in just a couple of weeks learn it and get to the finals at an international championship. But we're seeing the prizes here being placed for Shumon, 1 electro power. Nothing too bad here, I would say. This is actually quite reasonable.
Yeah, not having the Thunder Mountain Prism Star in the prizes is certainly going to help him this time. And here we have Jean placing down his prizes as well. Again, nothing too big so far, just a few pieces that are definitely multiples of, but we see that Ace Roller, which some players have not been playing in their decks. Really interesting to see that he's opted to go for that. And Shumon leading with that Zera Aura GX actually helps him set up big plays for turn 2. You don't want to have the Pikachu and Zekrom GX typically in the active spot because then you can't accelerate to it with that Tapu Koko Prism Stars Dance of the Ancient ability. Looks like he's going to Ultra Ball away, really thinking about whether Tapu Lele is something he wants to keep in his hand, but
He does already have the Lily for turn 1, so kind of assuming that that is going to be played. And it looked like he took Thunder Mountain off of the Acro Bike.
straight away throws down that Pikachu and Zekrom GX. Definitely going for the same line of play, I'd say, this game. Hopefully he can get an energy attachment down this turn as well. I think these Pikachu and Zekrom GX decks are all about having energy in play so you can really utilize those energy switches and get big knockouts sort of out of nowhere.
All right, we are gonna see a Lily here for what looks like 6 cards.
Ooh, finds a Tapu Koko Prism as well. It's going to set him up for a really nice second turn when he's able to attack. Choice Band.
Another Lily, Thunder Mountain, second Acro Bike. I mean, this is a lot of cards that Shumon has access to here on turn 1. Significantly better than he was looking at in the previous game where he just played an Ultra Ball, attached an energy, and passed.
And really cleverly, he's playing down a lot of his cards as well. He probably knows that his opponent also plays that Marshadow with the Let Loose ability, which can disrupt the opponent's hand. So he's making sure he gets down things like that Tapu Koko Prism Star and, say, a second Pikachu and Zekrom GX, just in case his opponent shuffles his hand in and forces him to draw to 4. And here now Jean as well, playing a Nest Ball, just looking through his deck, just having a look, seeing what do I have access to this time? What crucial pieces? How many Electro Powers? Taking some time to think about his decision here. Likely think that he'll probably go for a Pikachu and Zekrom GX.
Yeah, he's got to respond to the setup that Shumon had on turn 1, and that means finding his own Tapu Koko Prism, discarding some energy, finding that Pikachu and Zekrom, and getting set up for a turn 2 attack of his own. Although we do know that he is playing a list that does allow him to be capable of full blitzing on turn 1.
Yes, with that Lycia finding those 2 Prism Star cards, but it looks like he's chosen to take the Tapu Koko Prism through another route. He's going to play Cynthia as well. He did have that Marshadow, the Let Loose ability in hand that he could have played down, but I think recognizing that Shimon has kind of done enough on his turn to warrant not playing that one. Better to play Cynthia and draw 6.
Not going to be able to unlock the maximum potential of the deck, which is that full blitz on turn 1, but here going to be setting up for a full blitz on turn 2.
So we're looking for an energy down on Pikachu and Zekrom GX, which he has found, but no energy to throw away into the discard pile through something like an Ultra Ball. If there is only one in there, he's not going to get maximum value out of that Dance of the Ancients. And you can see he was thinking about using its ability, but also thinking, oh, do I really want to put 1 energy into play? Or do I want to wait and possibly get the full value and have 2?
It is
Decides to go for it.
It is tempting. But I suppose Jean here thinking, what else does he really want to get that energy onto? I mean, he doesn't even have that energy available to him right now. So he's going to take a more aggressive approach here and really set up to get things going for him next turn, take his first prizes of the game. But Shumon potentially could get his first knockout here.
Yeah, I mean, putting 2 energy on that Pikachu and Zekrom GX puts a lot of pressure on Shimon. It kind of forces him to, this turn, get some energy down, get some big plays going. And energy on the Zera Aura GX is a good start. And there's another energy onto the Pikachu and Zekrom GX. You know what? We could see a full blitz turn 2 again. Once again, we're looking for that energy switch.
He was not able to find it in the previous game, but Gonna have a good chance of getting it here.
Does need to find one more damage modifier as well to knock out that Zeraora GX. Does only have the choice band. Looks like he Ultra Balled away a Prism Star card. You do have to discard 2 cards with that Ultra Ball. It's
It looked
Lily
like the
and
Wondrous
another.
Labyrinth, I believe.
He's eyeing up a Marshadow. Just give himself even more ways to draw cards. So I don't believe he decided to get any cards off that one though. And also
looks like he
thinking
didn't take
about,
anything.
he does have that Thunder Mountain Prism Star. Now that's an awkward card to play down in this matchup because it really helps you, but it also helps your opponent. But I guess playing it down now does ensure that he will get the full blitz off. It means that he doesn't need the energy switch to get that attack. The Thunder Mountain Prism Star allowing the attack cost of lightning Pokemon to be 1 lightning less. So a full blitz for 2 is pretty amazing. 150, 180 damage.
Yeah, I think as long as Shimon is the first one taking advantage of the Thunder Mountain being in play, that he's okay, that his opponent is going to be able to use it as well. And Ellis, that fist bump there, I think means you're pretty happy about what he got off of that Cynthia.
Yeah, definitely found that Electro Power and throws it straight into the discard pile to be used with Pikachu and Zekrom GX. We'll get a full blitz and we might get 3 energy to be put down onto that Pikachu and Zekrom GX Rainbow on the bench.
And we see that Raikou coming into play here. That's the Shining Legends Raikou. 30 damage for 1 lightning energy, and then you can take an energy from the discard and put it onto, is it just your bench or to any of your Pokemon?
Just your bench Pokemon,
Okay,
yeah.
still pretty good.
There we go. Here we see the full blitz. It's actually a knockout on the Zeraora GX. Takes 2 prizes and really sets himself up now. You know, that Pikachu and Zekrom GX on the bench there, just ready to do Tag Bolt GX. It just needs a couple more energy, or 1 if the Thunder Mountain Prism Star stays in play, and that's really threatening to Jean here.
Yeah, the tables have completely flipped from game 1 to game number 2, where now Shumon is in complete control. He has his backup Pikachu and Zekrom set up. He has the ability to retreat for free and attack.